Hey, how's it going? My name is Ash, Ashley Rose. I'm here with Distortion Media, and I'm not the only Ash here today. I am here with Ash by Elegance. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Love your name, by the way.
Well, thank you. Thank you. It's such a pleasure to have you here. I've seen you wrestle, a few times, before TNA. So for everyone, you can definitely watch TNA on, of course, the TNA app, TNA Plus, definitely every Thursday on Access TV, or you can become an Ultimate Insider. And of course, all over the world, there's different ways, Fight Network and DAZN. So Ash, it's good to have you here. I was very surprised to see you at the Impact Zone. So, going in, what should, the fans, the TNA faithful expect? Is it going to be, is this Ash different than what we're used to seeing at your previous in-ring, matches experience?
Yes, of course. I have been blessed with this amazing opportunity that I cannot wait to, get the ball and run with. For 12 years, the perfect word would be comfortable. I was comfortable in a position. I felt like I couldn't really control my own destiny. And with TNA, I'm given an opportunity to really show the world who I am, the potential that I feel like I haven't tapped into yet. I have a locker room full of knockouts that are the best of the best that I feel as though I can hang with. I cannot wait to go out there and show the world what I can do. It's definitely a different side of me. I kind of want to leave that old, character in the past and bring out something new and elegant and fun. A totally different character, totally different look, and bring elegance and class and sass to the ring.
That sounds great. I think you're really going to fit in. I definitely feel like this is definitely a place for you to shine, especially, with the knockouts division being one of probably, not to be biased, but it's some of the best women's wrestling on TV. And the knockouts are all phenomenal. I can't wait to see what, you are going to do. Besides, I definitely can tell that, Knockouts champion is definitely up there because that is, the top prize in women's wrestling.
Yes.
So, other than that, let's talk about, something a little bit different. Let's talk about tag team wrestling. Would you be interested in maybe becoming like going for a tag team title? And who would you be interested in tagging with?
Of course, I ultimate goal is, the championship, and defeating Jordan, if that's who I need to face. Going into the tag team division is all all open for it. It's just I need to see who the perfect fit would be for my tag team partner. It's definitely I need someone as hungry as I am. Yeah, I've said it before. I've really got to know Zaya. I knew her when she was such a little girl. And her father was actually one of my coaches, and seeing her drive and determination and, not wanting to ever stop. And she's just been so hungry. And now that we're sharing a locker room together, you know, years, a decade later is truly, truly amazing. I love to stand in her corner and watch her do her thing. With that being said, I definitely feel as though I have to keep my eye out and see who would definitely fit this part as my tag team partner. And we can go out there and capture those tag team titles. And then I can also hold, the knockouts title as well, too. A 2-for-1.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're going to be a great competitor. I can't wait to see, when you face Jordan, because she is she's definitely up there, when it comes to just women's wrestling in general. She's a phenomenal performer and she's such an inspiration.
No, she really is. I sat with her about a week ago, and I really got to talk with her, and I said, woman to woman, I'm very proud of you. We come from similar backgrounds, being in the bodybuilding and fitness industry. I know how hard it is, and I really truly admire her determination and drive. because I've seen her transformation and it is not easy. You start, second guessing and questioning in your head, like, why am I doing this? Is this the right decision for me? And it's very, demanding on your body just from the bodybuilding aspect, let alone having to diet down, but also wrestle is so hard. So hard. So hats off to her. But she has a phenomenal look and a phenomenal build, and she's worked so hard for it. So, Jordan is definitely an amazing person outside and in the ring as well too.
Yeah, I do know that, me, following your career for so long, I do know fitness is a very, very fundamental part of just your routine. Any advice you could give, perhaps to anyone listening in regards to, fitness?
Something, I battled with it for quite some time, and I followed such a strict diet for so long, but that was a competition diet. That was to get a 24-hour look on stage while I was competing. The hardest part for me was finding a healthy lifestyle, finding a balance. And I found, as though if you let your mind go and say, you know what, sorry, I don't know if we got disconnected.
That's okay. We're still good.
If you find a healthy balance and let your mind go and say, you know what, let me eat clean Monday through Friday, and then let me indulge and treat myself on the weekends is just fine too. Every day is not the same. Every day you're thrown different obstacles in your path, but you have to find a way to overcome it. I always say, if it's starting as little as going for a walk around the park, going for a walk around the block, taking your dog for a walk. It's easy as starting there. And then the next thing is start with a little bit of weight. Start with, just making yourself feel so good by doing something for you. And you don't have to be in the mindset of I'm going to compete. It's more or less doing it for you and making you feel good inside, because we all know you eat a whole cake or a pint of ice cream, or you're like, oh my God, what am I doing? I feel so disgusting. It's, take it in moderation, take it in steps. And, I feel as though if I eat clean, it works for me Monday through Friday. On a Saturday or a Sunday, I'll have a cookie, I'll have a cheeseburger, something like that. Knowing Monday, I'm right back on it, and it's not going to matter. You have to make yourself happy, and moderation is key.
I think moderation, that speaks for everything. I mean, I think it's so easy just to get caught up in that negative mindset, and it's hard, especially, definitely with how the world is today.
Of course.
Yeah, people, I think, are a lot more harder on themselves now in just this current generation than they have been, say 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Right. Ash, I mean, I had this conversation the other day. Thank God, when I was growing up, there was no social media. There was no Instagram. There was no, Twitter or TikTok or anything like that, because I can't imagine how I would feel going through, because social media could be a great thing, but a negative thing. But, kids these days can just be so cruel. And I'm dealing with it still as an adult on social media, but I just know how to handle it better now, as though if I was, a kid back then, it would be very difficult. You still get bullied online, but you just got to brush it off and keep it moving. So you made a great point. Everything in moderation, and just, kind of making yourself happy. You don't have to make anyone else happy besides yourself.
That's really what matters. And I think that definitely, you could tell, when you love yourself, people are just, it's a projection thing, anything positive and negative, you're going to project something positive, you're going to get positive feedback. Negative, it's going to be negative, and that's just how, I hate to say that that's how life is right now, but it is, and it's a difficult thing. When I was in high school, the first social media platform that came out was MySpace. So that should tell you how old I am. So
yeah, of course. I'm
Yeah, even then, it was difficult then. Back to you coming into TNA. What who are you looking forward to facing, other than Jordan? I definitely know that that's on the top, priority list. You definitely want to be, you know, TNA Knockouts champion because that's the prize. Any other competitors you're interested in, perhaps outside of TNA you've been looking at?
Lish would be a great competitor for me to step in the ring with because I think she has that drive and a hunger as well too. She goes to the extreme. She's such a badass. She's a little petite little thing, and that's exactly what I love to do. I love to go out there. I love hardcore matches. I love kendo sticks. I love chairs. I love ladders, tables, you name it, flying off of things. And she definitely brings it to the table. She's a great competitor. She's also a great person backstage. I came a little bit too late because I would have loved to be in the ring with Trinity as well too. We were co-workers before, and seeing her thrive and really come to being her and confident of her in the ring. I would love, to share the ring again with her too, but I'm super, super excited to see where her next journey and where she may land at. So I'm excited, but I'm just excited to step foot in the ring with anybody. Because I feel like they can bring out a different side of me that I was not able to show before. I got, again, the perfect word is comfortable because I was so used to the same girls over and over and over again, not given enough time to be able to go out there and show what we can do. We were kind of handcuffed in a way, in a sense of you have to do this, you have 90 seconds, get it done. This is where it's going. This is the story that it's going. And it was just like, I was really never given that opportunity to climb to the top. I was always the girl that was like, okay, let's do it. I'll take the pinfall and maybe I'll get something out of it, but I feel as though TNA is such a different playing field and everybody works together to make an amazing product.
It is. There's a lot of hard work that goes into the show. So I'll definitely see you at some point because I'm usually there. Like, I tend to go a lot, so we'll run into each other. But I do have a question, and I know some people may not be familiar with your wrestling or your style, and it's going to be new for them. But I have to ask this question. I might be using the incorrect terminology here, but I do recall you used to do like a hands-free cartwheel in the ring.
Yes. Okay. Yes. I get that question a lot.
Can you still do it, and will we see it?
I can still do it. It's funny because it's second nature to me. It's like something that I could just go and, do. It's definitely something that I will have to bring out at the right time. And, see where it fits. It's definitely a throwback thing for me. It's who I am, and I don't want to, definitely am going to show a different side of me, but I don't want to get away from who I truly am and what brought me here to wrestling. And that's my gymnastics background and my athletic ability. So that's like my roots, and I never want to throw that away to the wayside. So stay tuned, keep your eye out for that.
That was one of the biggest conversations. One of my friends, Alicia, she's on the TNI podcast. They cover Impact. She was mentioning how she would have loved to see you come in because it was like a mystery over who's coming, who's not coming, rumors, how rumors fly.
Of
And she was
course.
like, I really hope it's her. And then she started talking about that. And I was like, I completely forgot that you could do that because of your background, in gymnastics and your athletic background. So that's
I'll tell you a quick little funny story. So I did it for my entire career until I got that title around my waist, the 24/7 title. And then they're like, can you do it? I was like, yeah, I can do it. And they're like, your waist is so small, like your torso, and the title is, so big. I'm like, let me try. I did it. And the metal, the gold plate hit my face. I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. I was like, I can't do this. And then things heavy. So I just kind of, veered away from that. And then here I am now, redefining my character and bringing something new to the table. So it's definitely a possibility. but when it fits, I definitely will sure put it in for you. And you can be like, hey, I was the first one to bring it up to her when she was in TNA Wrestling.
Well, yeah, because she was like, I hope so. She's all, because I would love to see that. It would be different, it'll be nice, So she was really excited. So she's gonna watch this, obviously, and she's gonna be excited to hear that. So, you know, we talk about, TNA, there's all these different types of matches. I'm sure you saw Ultimate X. It's
Of
the
course, that was pretty badass,
yeah.
I must say.
Yeah. Would it be something you'd be interested in, like Ultimate X? How, are you familiar with any of the other, previous TNA,
Yeah,
matches, pay-per-views?
yes. I mean, I love hardcore wrestling. Too, I talked to the girls that were in that match as well. And again, I feel as though I don't want to compare it to anything like that, but I was in a match, Money in the Bank, where the briefcase is hanging from the top and you climb up ladders and things like that. And I specifically asked, can I hang from the briefcase and swing from it and unclip it and fall? And they're like, no, that's too dangerous. I'm like, yeah, but do you understand? I want to do this. And I feel like this is a wow factor for me. And it would really make me stand out and be different from the rest. They're like, oh, it's too dangerous. I'm like, okay, but I'm a daredevil type. I want to go to the extreme. And I had a kendo stick match before and I loved it. Everyone's like, are you crazy? I'm like, I guess, yeah, I'm crazy, but I absolutely loved it. So it's definitely something that I would love to do. Hardcore matches, yes. I don't think necessarily like thumbtacks or anything like that, but definitely hardcore. Yeah, I love it. I love it. The more the merrier.
That's exciting to hear. And I think TNA is a great place for you.
Thank you.
I think we're going to see a lot of, what we didn't see before, people that have seen you wrestle. It's going to be different. It's going to be new for them, but it's an exciting time, back to the TNA name. So
Yes, and that's another thing too, is like I'm just not a pretty face. There's a lot behind it that I want to bring out. Because they say, oh, she just is there for her looks, that's all, that's why she's signed with the other company, that's why she signed with TNA. It's like, no, I truly have so much potential that I want to bring out and show that I can do. Because they only see what they get on TV. They don't see the years and years of training, the hours that you spend during a day working out or in the ring. Last week or 2 weeks ago, I was wrestling. I haven't stopped. Like I do go into a ring here in South Florida that I do, try and perfect my craft. With wrestling, you can never know too much. It's just, you always are learning and learning and learning. And that's something I love about wrestling and a different side I want to bring to the table.
absolutely. We are going to close out here because, one thing I will say that I did actually learn from watching you is I'll never forget one thing you always said was you always have to be ready and prepared, whether it
Always.
how your fitness on point, whether it be, dressed accordingly, you always have to be ready, especially that goes, in wrestling. And I think that's a great message for people that are determined and, they're out there to be persistent and they want to accomplish, a lot. So I think I always thought that was such a great message.
Thank you, Ash. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you. And, you can also catch Ash, every Thursday on TNA Plus, also Access TV. Watch it on DAZN. And, once again, thank you for talking to me today.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been great. And I appreciate your support from the many years before, but also going forward.
Absolutely. All right. Later.